In today's video, folks, we are going to be breaking down the Gala node staking, talking about the pros, the cons, what the community feels about this. Maybe this is good, maybe it's not. I don't know. You be the judge. We're going to be talking and utilizing actual facts, data, and information that I have found online. Everything is publicly, readily made available for anyone to go ahead and see. So if you like this kind of unbiased raw content about Gala Games, the ecosystem, smash the like button, subscribe, notification, comment your issues or your happiness, your sadness with Gala in the comments. And without any further ado, let's get straight into it. Alrighty, folks, so let's cut the BS and just jump straight into the video. We are using articles, facts, Reddit forums, hearing from the community directly online. So the first bit we're going to be talking about is what is FACS, okay? So essentially, guys, it stands for fully asset-backed content staking. You might be thinking, what the heck is that? All right, so it's essentially meant to be a new system Gala's rolling out that's supposed to tie together Gala nodes, NFTs, and game assets into one staking ecosystem. So basically, guys, in simple terms, instead of just holding Gala like you normally would, or running a node and waiting for the rewards like we used to, you now lock assets into a FACS vault or an FACS vault, either Gala tokens, NFTs, or node licenses, and you receive a share of rewards based on your contribution. So I can see where there is some potential upside here, because essentially it's going to really look at rewarding people that are more active within the ecosystem, but equally at the same time it is potentially punishing people that simply did invest early in a node and just quite simply do not have enough time to get more involved within the Gala ecosystem or anything else on top of their life. They've probably got family, 9 to 5, this, that, and the other. So this is essentially Gala's answer, really, to a fragmented tokenomics and the growing criticism that node rewards haven't been backed by any real activity or value. And look, that is a valid point that they could bring up as well. All right, so moving on to the actual part that gets a little bit interesting, okay? So the actual node staking changes and all that around it, okay? So here's where it actually gets a little bit interesting, all right? With founders nodes, which used to just passively generate Gala, as we did say before, are now getting pulled into this system. Your rewards are now affected by what and how you stake, as we kind of just did mention before. So essentially, Gala seems to be moving toward a performance-based model. So it's no longer just enough to own a node. You might need to stake Gala or relevant NFTs into the ecosystem to maximize your rewards in any given day or time. Game-specific nodes like Spider Tanks and Miranda's also being folded into FACS logic, right? So rather than being siloed, everything's being treated as part of a larger staking pool. So I think, let's be fair, folks, there are some real potential upsides here, okay? So FACS is really Gala's attempt to tie actual game use to token rewards, and not just some random gaming project, okay, or gaming experience, which is pretty much what it's been. That's a good thing. It could help fight token inflation by rewarding users who are actively involved rather than just passive speculators on the side. And really, it's Gala's first time where they've tried to be a bit more creative, and they're trying to really just unify the economy, the way I'm seeing it there on the positive angle, where game developers, node operators, and players are all sharing that same value system. So really, folks, if it's implemented correctly, this could mean better rewards for real users, more sustainability for actual developers, and less waste in the ecosystem. But it essentially means that if you're thinking about sitting back and getting those passive gains from Gala now, it's probably not going to be so much like that, where I think that's going to be a concern for a lot of people. But there are, of course, some serious concerns coming from the community, and this is just one Reddit forum I found, alright? But first, folks, it's about the clarity, alright? So as usual, Gala's communication has been quite vague around the issue. What exactly qualifies for staking? How are back rewards calculated? What happens to node holders who don't participate? What if you just don't want to get involved? And let's just be honest, Gala has a history of changing directions midstream. Just ask anyone who staked Gala Gold or who bought into Townstar NFTs. Yeah, remember those ones? There's also concern this favors insiders, people who already own expensive nodes or rare NFTs, while the average user is left confused or excluded. And there ain't no smoke without fire, because we know through multiple NFT drops, Vox, that there was a lot of insider activity going on there without getting into that too much further. But I did make some content about that in some prior videos, folks. This is all facts. This is public information. Everything's on chain. That's the beauty of blockchain these days. So what it means for Gala, what does it really mean for the ecosystem as a whole? So in theory, it is a step forward in utility. We've all been asking for it, but in practice, it really just depends on the execution, okay? So if Gala actually integrates FACS cleanly across the games like Miranda, Superior, Town Star, Spider, Tanks, and rewards players in meaningful activity, it could possibly reignite interest. But if this becomes another abandoned system like Gala Music staking or Voxverse NFTs, then it's just more noise, okay? It's just more noise. And let's just be real, they just haven't really got a great track record in terms of actually getting viable products to market and getting things finished. They've really just been living off the hype of basically the altcoin season. All right, let's just be real about that one. So in terms of any closing and final thoughts, folks, to me, this isn't the worst idea that Gala's had, all right? In fact, it's probably one of the smarter ones. The problem is that people are tired of pivots, tired of broken promises, and tired of systems being rolled out half finished. I'm one of those people, okay? So yeah, FACS could be a game changer. It's possible, or it could be a PR patch for a deeper problem, guys. So look, let me know what you guys think. I'd really be interested to know, is Gala finally heading in the right direction, or is this just another way to essentially repackage the same issues over and over again? All right, so I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want a deep dive that actually cuts through all of this hype, and hit that subscribe button, because next week we're going to be having a look at some more stuff related to Gala, guys. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment, notifications. We'll catch you next time. Cheers.